From the north, a very great wind starts to rise over the ocean north of the continent of Elenia Toth on the planet of Tiarun. The wind starts to come to shore among the spires and mesas and plateaus of the western part of Zamda, where kobolds and dragonborn live. The wind is as wide as the mountainous country and sweeps through the canyons, past kobolds peeking out of caves, down into Bourgogne, through the lush green meadows and vineyards, through the Rocky Mountains, rocky and alpine in nature, through the forests, and a little bit of the wind passes through the city of Ardore, moving south. Moving south across the plains into the country of Liebenstag, where hammers clang against anvils and lava moves under mountains as soldiers are assembled. The wind whips past them, blowing through their dwarven beards, south through the capital of Augeschlacht. Dark, dreary, until it starts to lightens up a bit over the inland sea and the mountains to the north of Greater Elenia. Cutting right down the middle of the country, this great and powerful wind begins to blow all across the country of Greater Elenia and beginning to swirl a little bit, around to the west, through the woods, and through some palisades, wooden palisades that happen to be to the north of a sheep-filled village, down through the woods and into the city of Elenia Toth. And the wind begins to shift from the western side of Elenia Toth to the east, blowing through the neighborhoods there and cutting across the city, spiraling past people doing their daily business, past their daily work. The wind blows through the temple district, through the mage college, the library, the university, past the workshop where gnomes and humans are working away on some kind of firearm equipment, sparks of electricity, a new form of technology for this world begins. It passes south, this wind, through the factions district where the thieves guilds and other factions are headquartered. Maybe there are others that are not headquartered there. And through the docks where sweaty longshoremen and longshore women are pulling loads, boxes from the boats, bringing them for sale in the merchant district of the Chop, and passing through the slums of the Chop. A beggar reaches out a cup and rattles it together. The wind passes north and begins heading towards Castle Dagran. It blows past the Travelers District with a lot of tavern noise and merriment. It's about noon on this day. People haven't gotten really started drinking, but some are well into their cups as the wind blows past the Nobles' Quarter and starts to pass around Castle Dagran, over the walls and in through the window on the eastern side of the castle into a waiting room, a well-appointed Baroque decorated gold leaf waiting room, velvet couches. And in that waiting room stand three figures, none of whom know each other, all of whom are seeing each other for the first time, and all of whom may be a little tired of waiting. They were asked here to help the queen, and they don't know much more than that. Now, before we enter this room and see these people standing together, let's just take a moment to find out what they were doing when they were interrupted by the Queen's Guard. Cyrus, what was your experience?
Cyrus arrived at the docks in the south by ship and was finding information around advanced navigation techniques that the sailors at the docks in this country might have versus the more rudimentary knowledge that may exist in my home country. Very interested in trading information as it would exist with my brethren. Really, I mean, we're all brothers of the sea in some way if you've committed your life to this. And was down there in search of information, but giving information, expertise, and experience, but also seeking new bits of information, expertise, and experience around navigation and seafaring ways.
And as you were doing this, you started to notice a number of Queen's Guard starting to surround you and gather you around you. One of them lets you know that the Queen personally was requesting your help and would like you to meet her in the throne room. And they asked if you could please gather any and all of your gear and head to the throne room with them. And they stayed with you, followed you, and escorted you there. And so we'll pick up with you in a moment. Biggs, what was your experience?
Biggs, y'all can hear me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I play with this dongle sometimes, so I'm just like, I don't know if it works. So what's it called? Biggs has a reputation of being a bounty hunter. He's currently in Elenia Toth, and so the guards are out looking for him now. Being that of his record, they have some photos on some parchment, the drawn photos of what he looks like. But what it shows is two different photos. They know that he is a gnome, but they also know that as a bounty hunter, he usually casts disguise self on himself in order to not draw attention to that fact and all that other stuff. If you look on Discord. So they have another photo of what he disguises himself as to pass as human. So the guards are in this busy street of in the city and trying to look for Biggs to bring him into the Queen. And then what they see is a little bit of screaming, some clattering of pots falling down as people are starting to run through the street. And they see one gentleman who just obviously not fitting the description, just running by the guards. And then as they turn back, they see another gentleman, human looking, matching the description that they see, charging after this person. And it makes sense, his reputation of hunting down a bounty hunter. And so they stop him abruptly. And as he does that, he kind of just bumps into the guards, losing concentration and, spell stopping and reverting back to his gnome form. And he's just like yelling at the guards, just like, he's getting away. What are y'all doing? Get out of my way. Real quick, there's no issues with cursing, right? Okay. So it's like, get the fuck out of my way. Like, he's getting away. I need this bounty now. And they're just refusing to move as this person's going. So he's just irate that he just lost his bounty that he was after. Because the guards did it and they kind of take him away. He's definitely fighting them and stuff. So they probably have to take away some of his weapons because he's getting a little out of hand.
All right. Well, you managed to survive that fracas without killing any of them and without them killing you. But at the end of the day, you are outnumbered, and the whole time they're fighting you, they tell you, we're not trying to kill you. We're not trying to arrest you. The queen needs a favor.
I'm just smacking them on their helmet with the flat end of my sword. So when we cut back to the scene of these guards standing with the three of us, there's a few with some dents in their armor.
But maybe you finally stop when you hear one of them saying 600 gold pieces, 600 gold pieces.
He finishes hitting one of what I would assume would be one of the more junior guys. He's just like 600, you say? I guess I can go for a walk with y'all. Sure. You have my attention.
And of course, a couple of them are laying unconscious on the ground as you agree to this. Luce, what happened to you?
Well, as I have done in the almost every day in the few months that I've been in the city, most of my time is spent at the temple of Luglier and Jaith. And I'm not sure if I'm saying those names right. I hope so. But yeah, so Luce, she's been just sort of hanging around, enjoying taking in the atmosphere of sort of good-natured showmanship and pranks that are going on. She's trying to pick up a few new skills and teach a few to some of the people that are there. So just enjoying some music and some jokes and some sleight of hand, just sort of taking in the atmosphere as the guards. I don't know what the etiquette is as far as guards entering the temple grounds, but they would either enter or someone would make their presence known to her that they wanted to speak to her, and be a little bit suspicious of it, but definitely interested in finding out what this new turn of fate has in store, and so is eager to find out what's going to happen if she follows these guards.
All right. And each of you is pushed to some extent, at least escorted, and each of you is escorted through the gray stone of Castle Dagran, which is a very large castle. I'm just adjusting my Kenku volume here. Oh. And I just want to underscore for you guys that even though we're recording this, I don't want you to feel too like any pressure like you have to perform. I don't really like performative D&D recordings. I like just a copy of what we did, so oh my. Let's see. It's messing with the volume a little bit. So we find ourselves weird. All right, so the three of you are escorted separately into this waiting room. Cyrus, you arrive first, and you're alone in this room. There are some velvet couches. There is a small writing desk. There is a bookshelf. It's a medium-sized room. It feels quite fancy. And the guards leave you alone in the room. They go back out the door you came into. You were marched through the long, functional yet beautiful hallways of Castle Dagran, large gray stone blocks, tapestries on the wall, porcelain and gold vases in niches, and led to this waiting room that you can only assume is in front of the throne room, because there is a large ornate door on the north side of the room that you assume leads that way, and you're simply told to wait, and you're standing there alone. What are you up to?
Very interested as to why I've been summoned. Certainly no stranger to visiting government officials, but being in a foreign country and being summoned by the head of state really is quite a new experience. And at this point, I'm cautious, but interested as well. This is a bit of a puzzle. It was unexpected. I came looking for new knowledge and new experiences, and certainly this is fitting the bill straight away.
And is there any actions you want to take while you're alone in this room?
No, I'm content at the moment to keep my eyes open and my ears open and observe and try to make sense of what is going on around me and this new experience that is unfolding with me in it.
So after a while, the doors that you came in open, and someone else enters the room, a slender, youngish woman. I'll let her describe herself, but she's pushed into the room, and the doors are shut behind her as the guard says, "Please wait here. The queen will be with you momentarily." And I'll let you two describe what you see when you look at each other.
All right.
Ladies first.
All right. All right. Well, you see as you said, as was said, a slender figure. She's fairly tall, very well dressed, obviously from money. Appears to be sort of in a getup that is reminiscent of matador or mariachi. Very everything about her clothing is clean and sort of well pressed and looks very nice. She has a lute strapped across her back, a rapier at her side, and she sort of comes into the room and is gazing around it with a quizzical eye. She has dark, long hair, but is currently wearing a sort of a stylish hat on her head. And when she looks at you, she sort of smirks a little bit and says, "Well, it appears we are either honored guests or prisoners of some sort. I haven't decided yet which."
Cyrus, what does she see when she looks at you?
Something very different than when she looks in the mirror, that's for sure. Standing before you is a middle-aged humanoid that has been weathered by both sun, water, and wind. Rather strong, rather muscular, rather imposing in a calm and directive way. However, not human. The best English word to describe it would be somewhat like a hippopotamus, as odd as that sounds, with humanoid features. And hearing Luz speak, Cyrus inquires, your accent, I've heard a dialect like this before. Well, where might you be from?
Sort of gives a small bow. She says, of course I am from Rocinante. My family is the Del Castillos of Rocinante. And you, my friend, I cannot say I know anything about your kind or where you're from.
Well, as it turns out, we are neighbors. I am from the lowlands of Cañamo. Just
As you say that, the door bursts open, interrupting you. And by the way, it's Cáñamo rather than
Cañamo.
Andiamo.
Cañamo.
The door bursts open, and Biggs strolls in, looking a bit nonchalant, as if it was all his idea to be there. And the guards again say, "Wait here. The queen will be with you in a moment." And they shut the door. And Biggs, what do these two see as you enter the room? What do you look like?
So Biggs is definitely quite proud of himself. He's about to get quite in his mind, he's about to get quite a bit of gold and all that other stuff. So, and he liked the idea that he's got a size complex to him. So he's got this cockiness to his walk, as he definitely just put a beating to a few of these guys before he decided to stop. And so he's just walking in there. It's just like, yeah, go tell the queen I'm here. I'm expecting some money. You see him. He's got this purple slick back hair. Well groomed, trimmed. Again, but all this hair on his body is purple, dark purple. So he's got nice trimmed beard with a mustache connected to it as well. Bushy eyebrows. Not off-putty, but normal for gnomes of his stature. Wearing a very foresty color type clothing. He has this kind of tunic type outfit with a bunch of leather straps on it that he uses to attach different things to his body. Some lighter green cloths are around him as well, and then you can see there's a hood attached to the back if you wanted to throw it on. But he's definitely walking in there with a cockiness to him, and he's only he's 3 foot nothing. So he's definitely a big energy for Biggs over here. He sees y'all and he has this look. He's just like, whoa. I'm not splitting 600 coins with anyone here. All right. You told me 600, I better get 600 or I'm out of here. You hear me? And then he's just like standing there, like looking at the guards, like with the what the fuck face.
And they don't say anything back, and they just leave the room and close the door. And it's just you and these two. And it's a little hot and stuffy in this waiting room, even though it's so beautifully appointed. It feels a little warm. The season that you're currently in is akin to late July in the States. And so you see these two Biggs, this slender Spanish featured lady and this rather large hippopotamus looking humanoid. And time begins to pass in this hot, stuffy room as you all are waiting together.
Well, I'm going to speak up and say, well, my friends, this seems like a great time to be getting to know one another. I am Luciana Pilar del Castillo, but you may call me Luz or Lucy.
Who said anything about friends? I don't know you people.
You look much like a bantam rooster that we had once up on my family estate.
Okay, you're gonna get it, Missy.
He too believed he was quite something until he met our dogs.
Well, I think I'll fare pretty well against your dogs if I have to, but you keep it up with the short jokes, and that'll be the last thing you'd say.
Oh my. So let's remember that we will all be adventuring together for a while, just a little bit of metagaming to bring into our real gaming, and see if we can find a way for our characters to smooth back the feathers. And I need just I need 90 seconds to say goodnight to my wife, a very, very important activity. So 90.
Kyle, that's great. You did the Spanish speaking, because I know you know Spanish, and Spanish teacher as well. So that's this is very interesting.
That works out. I like it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do?
But
Are you gonna do like broken Spanish, like a mix of English with Spanish words in there and stuff like
English in this, sure, yeah.
Well, I'm about to do it too, because I'm from that part of the world, and would know enough to be functional.
Mine, I guess, from what Jake was telling me, mine's more of like French type thing.
Mhm. Yeah, well, David will lore dump on you later about the deep gnomes of Bourgogne. But yes, it's French in the east and Italian in the west. Bizarro Italian and French. So we'll go back to this room that's a little too hot, a little too stuffy, and things are taking a little too long as tempers begin to flare, and we wonder what will happen to these waiting three.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that after Lewis introduces herself, Cyrus makes sure to acknowledge her in her native language of mucho gusto, and it is a pleasure to meet you here. We are far away from our lands, but it's good to have someone from nearby, from home.
Igualmente. And would she know of this group of people? Would she understand what he is and what she's looking at? Or
Yeah, the relationship would be like Spain with Latin America. Cáñamo has a lot of water dwelling indigenous peoples and humans, and it's just to the north of Rocinante. So the countries have a little bit of an antagonistic history, but just as in real life, that doesn't always transfer over to the individual citizens, depending on how you want to take that.
okay. Yes, it seems we are in good company. And my friend, I apologize. I did not mean to insult your honor. Please tell us, what is your name?
My name, and he just like builds up his chest, trying to make himself as big as possible in this scenario. My name is Big. What is his name? I know his nickname so well. My name is Bigler Geoheart. And it's like kind of stares off into the distance. But most people call me Biggs. It's like for obvious reasons, and like gives a wink to to her. And then looks over at Cyrus, and it's just like, like gives like a grimacing look, like very obviously not his type.
Luce is gonna do her very best to stifle a chuckle at that whole interaction.
So and Cyrus, how are you receiving Biggs?
he appreciates the dichotomy of a gnome called Biggs, and he looks back at him and he says, "It's nice to meet you, Grandito."
Got Latinos represented strongly here today.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Granita, if I remember correctly, something large, correct?
Grande, large. Ito is
Yeah.
the suffix for small. So grandito would be little small or small little, however you want to do it. It's just a little something.
He's
Just
not,
little Biggs.
Little Biggs.
He's not very he's good at languages, and I guess not that type of language. So he's just like, he heard the grande part and was just like, it's like I appreciate it. It's like, oh, he just like snaps his finger and just like smiles at you. And then he like turns and puts his back to him and is just like looking around the palace, just like just trying to just look around and see what's going on. It's just like, we've been waiting here for a while. How long does it take to go fetch a queen?
So yeah, you guys are standing in this room. There's a bookshelf, a writing desk, there are velvet couches. There is a window that looks out the eastern side of the keep. And there is that very big ornate door on the north side of the room that one would assume leads to the throne room.
So there are no guards currently in the room with us. It's just the three of us alone.
Correct.
Okay. Luce is going to place a finger to her lips, cross the room, and press her ear against the ornate door. See if she can hear if there's anything going on in the room next to her.
All right. First roll of the game. Roll perception.
All right. +1 on my perception. What is, oh, there we go. 20. Oh, that was a lovely 9.
An auspicious start. You hear some voices. You can't quite make out what they're saying or what exactly is going on, but you do hear muffled voices in the other room.
These doors, they're very thick. You turn to the other two. I don't suppose either of you know why we are here.
Look, I heard 200 gold and I stopped putting up a fight. So that's why I'm here. I don't know what they told y'all.
Oh, interesting. 200. You said 6 before.
I did. Yes. I guess like I have a bad habit of doing math when other people are in the presence, so of taking my money. So I guess I've been hurt before. But if they're true to their word, it'd be 600. But if I have to share it, I guess it's 2.
And you, mi amigo, what were you promised for coming here? He just turns to Cyrus.
I also believe it was 600, but it was a very hurried conversation. I can't say specifically what exactly I was promised here. There was a whirlwind of activity, and I didn't have much choice to come, so I decided to go with the flow. But I believe it was 600 myself.
Luce just shrugs. I didn't ask. I hope I get 600 too.
So after some time and some sweat in this somewhat stuffy room, the ornate doors on the north side of the room crack open, and you see the helmeted head of a guard poke in, and he says, he whispers through the door, "Okay, come on in, come, hurry," and sort of cracks cracks the door open a little bit more and gestures with his gauntlet for you to head up to him.
Biggs stands up, adjusts his belt a little bit, and then is what's it called? It's like about damn time. Do you know how hot it is out here? Like, you think for a palace y'all would have a better airflow system going on here. Like, come on, guys.
I'm gonna get my little camera setup going here for the throne room. And I'll show you guys what I'm going to use today for your minis. You are welcome to mail me a mini that you want to see shown on the screen. But just for today, the only gnome I have is a wizard. So I'm going to use this ranger with a cool bow to be our gnome ranger today. Okay. The gnome ranger. This will be our Latina, looking a lot like her, I would say. She just doesn't have her weapons. And this is, I either got this one, or I got a really big, tall guy in a suit.
Probably not. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with him.
You're gonna go with the suit?
Or no. We're gonna go with the green. We're gonna go with Lurch there.
Yes, very big and imposing, almost hippo-like. So these are your 3 minis there. And so you all are brought into the front of the throne room here, and the guard that let you in stands in front of you and gestures for you to please wait. You know what? To get a better angle on this table, I'm gonna just move the camera over to the side so we can see the whole throne room a little closer. So just a second. And as the guard is sort of telling you to wait at the head of the throne room, you see up at the front of the throne room, the queen is standing up in front of her throne, and she's talking to well, you can't really see his face, but even from the back, he looks kind of handsome. Handsome from the back, nobleman is talking to the queen. And there are currently 6 guards in the room, and the queen and this nobleman are leaning their heads together, talking quietly. And again, you 3 find yourselves waiting. And you can let me know if you're up to anything, or if you're just waiting patiently.
I would turn to Grandito and it's like, hurry up and wait. You could either accustom to this or you're not.
He walks in there and what's it called? He's walking behind. Not really. He doesn't really deal with royalty too much. He deals with a lot of scumbags, and then the people that want the scumbags, more law enforcement type stuff. So he's taking in the sight for the first time, but he's still trying to keep his big energy going.
Yeah, and it's a very large throne room. I know the terrain doesn't necessarily represent it the way that my words will, but there are large stained glass windows on each side of this throne room. There is a runner carpet running all the way down the middle, and very high arched Gothic ceilings. It feels almost cathedral-like, and it's both elegant and awe-inspiring. as the queen continues to ignore you and talk with this fellow at the front of the room. Luce, what are you up to?
Luce is sort of smiling at the whole ordeal. She wants to play a little prank on one of the guards, not the one closest, but I'm curious as to whether the next closest guard would be within range of a prestidigitation spell, which is 10 feet.
Which is what, 15?
No, only 10.
Not within each square is about 10 feet, but you know, you could make something happen 5 feet away from him. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Make something happen right here.
Okay. So as she sort of removes her hat in a show of respect for royalty, she's going to use that movement to sort of mask the verbal and somatic aspects of prestidigitation and make it smell like that guard farted.
And that guard will sort of look around and then sort of look and see if anybody notices. And then the guard that's standing in front of you will turn over his shoulder and look at that other guard, and then look back to you three. And as the waft of fart begins to dissipate in the air, the queen seems to finish her conversation with whoever this person is, and he turns to head out of the room. You see that there are exits on little hallway exits on the right and on the left of the space, and he starts to head out of the room. And as he turns, you see a fellow who looks like Lord Baelish from Game of Thrones, a little bit Littlefingery, and he's paying no attention to anybody else in the room, and he heads out of the room. So short brown hair, white British features, and he looks impeccably tailored and very comfortable with himself. And as the fellow leaves the room, the queen looks across the spacious expanse and arches an eyebrow at the guard that's in front of you, and he understands that she is calling him and you all forward, and so he brings you all up to in front of the throne if you choose to follow his beckoning.
Do I see any of the guards that I dented up a little bit?
The guard that's leading you guys in has a dent in his helmet, and it might have been from you.
Okay, so as I'm walking in, I like elbow Cyrus's, probably his knee or leg or some sort. I'm just like, take a look at this place. Like, I think 600 is a little on the low side for this one.
Cyrus, do you have any response?
This is a little above my station, to be honest, but it's very impressive indeed.
So you all whisper that as you get a little closer to the queen, and I'm looking for my picture of the queen. It's always very difficult to find. So I guess I'll use
Is it one that was pinned in the
yeah. So you've seen it. I'll share
getting started important links, I believe.
Yep.
For pictures there somewhere.
Or
maybe not.
Zoom.
Or lore.
So yeah, you come forward and standing in front of her throne, and then as you come forward, she sits down once more, is Queen Aoife Coyle. I would say that none of you have seen her in person. Perhaps, Luce, you may have seen her from across the room at a noble event, but you have never had occasion to speak with her or even be this close to her. And she has a strange air about her. She has an ageless quality to her. Perhaps she's 50, perhaps she's 40, perhaps she's 30. Different lights hit her in different ways, and it's kind of hard to tell. She has blonde hair and a sort of aloof, distracted demeanor about the way she carries herself. And she looks over your heads rather than directly at you and says, "Hello. Thank you three for coming. Thank you, my loyal subjects." And Cyrus, just remind me where, oh yeah, you're from Kanyamo and you're visiting. Okay. But she still says this to you. "Thank you for coming, my loyal subjects. I imagine you are surprised that I would call you here. And I understand that surprise. But there is a matter of some importance that I need your help with, and a matter of some secrecy. You see," she pauses for a moment and looks into the air over your head and thinks, and then she looks at each of you in the face and says, "My son has gone missing. Prince Finn, he's 16 years old, my beloved son. We believe that he was kidnapped out of his room last night. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why I haven't set the palace guard to solve this matter, why I haven't called throughout the land for the best bounty hunters and detectives. Well, of course, we have one of the best bounty hunters. And that is this: we cannot have this matter getting out. I need this to remain a secret, so I need this to not spread throughout the castle and throughout the land. And so that is why I've asked you. Cyrus, give me a perception roll, please.
About a 10.
The queen continues looking at the three of you, again, kind of looking over your head and a bit distracted. And she says, "I don't know what became of him or who would want to kidnap him, but I'm hoping that you three, a bounty hunter, a spirited young woman, and you, a very powerful Griff from Kanyam, I'm hoping that you can work together to bring my son home safely and quickly and with great discretion. Do you three have great discretion?"
Discretion's my middle name.
Oh,
I believe we could be discreet in this matter as well as function together as a cohesive unit.
I mean, I'd probably be more discreet than this big fella here, but we'll make it work.
Luce is going to make a bow that is both very flourishing and ostentatious, but maybe not quite as low a bow as the Queen's station calls for. and say, in my experience, discretion. I keep trying to sound Spanish and I keep becoming Irish, so I apologize. In my experience, discretion discretion tends to be more expensive than non-discretion. Things take longer, things cost a little more.
Well, you will be rewarded handsomely, I promise. Luce, give me a perception check, please.
All righty. Oh, that one was even worse. A 7.
The queen looks at the three of you and says, very good. I can see that there is already a bit of a group dynamic among you three misfits. Her laugh is a little strange and detached. And she continues.
Question for you, Jake. How far away are we from her? It's hard to see on the mini thing.
Well, each square represents 5 feet, and you're the green thing.
Green thing.
Which one's okay? The queen is up there. So 5, 10. She's 15 feet.
Yeah, she's about 15 feet from you.
As she's saying this, I kind of shift my weight around, being a stocky individual, and I'm going to try to just amble into the square in front of me in a non-threatening way.
You gonna move forward one?
I'd like to see if I can get within 10 feet of the queen.
Okay, I think that would be one more. Technically, diagonally, you go one more, but nobody does anything as you step 5 feet closer, and she continues to talk. And she says, now, I've offered you each very handsome rewards. I hope that you will accept them as payment for bringing home my son with great discretion. Now, Biggs, give me a perception roll, please. Zach?
Sorry. You said perception. I have a +6. Not great.
Not great.
I am distracted.
So the queen continues, and she says, now while you are on this mission, I want to make sure that no one stands in your way. So I will be giving you each these, and she holds up this sort of spherical artifact in front of her and kind of pushes a button on it of sorts, and 3 golden spheres start to swirl out of this artifact, and each of you finds a golden sphere resting above your right shoulder, hovering over it, about this size. And she says, this is an ancient item that was given to my family, and this will mark you all as being on the queen's business. So no one will stand in your way as you attempt to help me in this mission, but also my loyal subjects will know not to slow you down in accomplishing your secret errand. First person who raises their hands gets one more perception check. Loose.
I probably shouldn't be, but I'm gonna.
Oh, well. Who knows?
Yay! Finally.
Hey, great. Biggs, what were you about to say?
So while Luz is like perceiving something, I'm over here like swatting this thing that's like hovering over me. I assume has like some sort of hum of magic to it. So I'm just like, what the hell is this? It just keeps evading my hands.
Yeah, it's as it sits over your shoulder, it's almost like an immovable rod. Like nothing will make this ball move. It's glowing like sort of transparent and translucent, so it almost looks like it's not there. It's just this glowing ball, but it's also just completely immovable. And get my Kenku going here. Well, yeah, sure, why not? We'll do that. And I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Great.
So
That's what we like to hear.
feel free to one at a time. Cyrus has a 9. Zach has a 11. And Cyrus has an 11 and Big has a 9. Luce, what did you get?
18.
Some of us have to rely on our modifiers, okay?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. I'm just getting some stuff set up and check back with our map here. All right. So,
Sorry, real quick. Did I miss what I perceived, or is that going to become apparent here in a second?
it is about to become apparent.
All right.
While you guys have been talking to her, you put together in the split second of perception, while you guys have been talking to her, people have been sneaking into the throne room. And now that you see this first person, you also sense the presence of many others who are standing in this throne room. They were creeping in, and you finally noticed them. And as you see this one person who is suddenly standing right next to the queen, one sec, I'm just counting my dudes. So as you see this one person who's standing right next to the queen, that person sees you see them, and what's that? And
Nothing.
immediately pulls out a scroll. They're actually already holding it, but they unfurl a scroll and start reading from it. And a booming voice fills the room. And the voice says, "Go home and be with your families. They need you." And just in that moment, all 6 guards start marching out of the room, leaving just you and this group of people that have arrived. And I'm just going to type one more thing here. Whoa, it sounds like a rock video. All right, so these people start attacking once they see that they've been caught and they have the guards leaving the room. This person runs up and takes a stab at our hippo brethren. This person runs up and takes a stab at Loose, and this person runs up to take a stab at the gnome, and they swing some scimitars at y'all, and the one targeting Loose misses, the one targeting Cyrus misses, but the one targeting Big hits, and he swings his scimitar down, far down, close to the ground where Biggs is, teasing the character, and stabs pretty aggressively, doing, oh, well, only 5 damage, but actually takes another hit and misses. So Biggs, you get 5 HP knocked off by this scimitar stab, and now it is Loose's turn. Loose, you're standing right here. You've got these 2 melee guys here, this melee person. You see a person with a bow and arrow and a person with a pistol up at the front of the room. You see the person that read the scroll standing next to the queen, and you see another person with a scimitar right here. Or yep. And what are you up to?
All those 3 and the one standing by the queen, do they appear to be like looking like they're going to target her? They haven't attacked her in any way?
One of them is aiming at her, the other one's aiming at you, and the melee person looks generally aggressive.
The one standing right next to her doesn't appear to be doing anything other than reading from the scroll.
He just finished casting a spell, so you don't know what he's gonna do next.
Okay. Okay. Well then, I am going to provoke an attack of opportunity to cross how many feet? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, I think I can get there. Can I get to the guy who was just reading from the scroll?
This person?
Yeah.
Let's see, if you step here, you'll get another attack of opportunity when you move away from that space. So if you want to take 2 attacks of opportunity, you go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to get next to that person.
Yep. Sure thing. I'll take them.
All right, so you move there and you take 2 melee attacks. They are swinging scimitars at you as you run by, and just checking. All right, and all right, Loose, they're swinging their scimitars at you, and one of them hits, and that person does 11 damage to you, slashing across your back and taking you down to 15 hit points as you move across the room. And what will you do having landed over there?
As I'm moving across the room, I'm gonna draw my rapier and shield and and I'm going to attack the one that is with the holding the scroll.
All right, roll to hit.
All right, so +4. That's a 15.
That does not hit.
Oh,
Oh wait, it's the caster. Hang on. It's 15.
yep.
Yeah, that hits.
Yay.
As you get closer, you notice that each of the fighters is dressed differently. They have like ragtag scraps of armor. So some of them have more armor than others. And some of them look healthier than others. So yeah, roll damage.
All right, that's 10 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and cast Second Wind on myself.
All right.
10 + 1. See if I can get back some of that I lost there. Oh, lovely. So I heal for a whopping 3.
Back up to 18. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be my whole turn.
All right, it's the queen's turn, and she appears a little bit more animated than when she was talking to you earlier, and she yells out, "Oh, help me! Help!" And she starts running away. She starts running down the chamber, and she says, "Please defend me." She takes an attack of opportunity from the spellcaster, who misses, swiping past her with his dagger. I guess he doesn't have the warcaster feat. And all right, now it's time for some other folks. This person that we thought was a melee person up here in the front of the room draws a pistol from his pocket and aims it at GIF and rolls to hit and misses. A gunshot rings out from a flintlock pistol in this palace throne room, and the ball flies past your head, GIF. You can hear it whizzing in your ear. The person next to him takes a shot with an arrow at the queen and hits the queen and does 5 damage to her. And the queen cries out as an arrow tears into the back of her right calf, and she yells, "Oh, please help me!" And now it is the caster's turn, who is standing right in front of you, Luce, and the caster considers their options, and I'd like you to make a wisdom save, please.
All righty. $18.
The caster points at you and thinks that they're doing something really fancy and special. Maybe they say as you get closer, you notice it's kind of a androgynous lady, and she looks at you and says, "You will not attack me," and points at you, and it seems like she thinks she's doing something really cool, but nothing actually happens to you. You feel a bit of a grip on your mind for a second, and for some reason, something about this seems funny. Maybe you just let out a chuckle as this mood passes through you. And also, as you're standing there and this person is interacting with you, you notice that she's a teenager. And Cyrus, you're up. What are you up to?
I am going to take just a melee attack at the one that is next to me.
All right, roll to hit.
We are rolling to hit.
Ye old roll to hit.
Yes, we are hitting with a longsword. How about a 12?
It slashes by him as he dodges to the left.
That is unfortunate.
Anything else?
Not at this time. Pass.
All right, Big, you're up.
All righty. I'll be ready for this. This is what I live for. Sorry, I'm trying to get my screens right. There we go.
You got 2 melee people up on you.
Which one hit me again? Bottom or right?
This one.
So I get like a little hit. Looks like he got me from the back. So take a little hit and I just like look at him from over my shoulder. I'm just like, oh, you're gonna regret that. I'm gonna swing at him with my sword.
All right.
Actually, well, first I'm going to like from under the back underneath me, I'm gonna bonus action Hunter's Mark on him. So I'm gonna cast that.
Very good.
Casting that, and which is an additional 1d6 whenever I hit roll. So now we are with a short sword. Here we go. D20 plus 5. Come on. A 16.
Okay, you hit.
Okay, so that is 2d6 plus my 5. 13.
13 damage to that person, and yeah, your short sword slashed through him, and he's looking pretty unhappy and pretty wounded, but he grimaces back at you and says, "Why are you standing in our way? Don't you understand?" And you also notice that he's a teenager. Anything else?
Yeah, unfortunately for this guy, because of my special skill Dread Ambusher, my first turn in combat, I get an additional attack with an extra D8 damage.
All right. So get in there.
So we're gonna roll again. A D20 plus 5. Not as well, an 11.
So your short sword scrapes just under his, just against his rib cage as he jumps back from it, and you're unable to get a good slash in. And anything else, sir?
No, that is all I'm going to do.
All right. We are back with our 3 melee folks, 2 of which are standing next to our ranger, and 1 of whom is standing next to our hippo. So we will see if their swords connect. The 2 on the ranger both miss, and the 1 on the GIF, I believe, yeah, also do not connect. So they're swinging their scimitars at you. One of them yells out, "Do not stand in our way!" But they're unable to connect with you. And Luce, it's your turn. You are standing over by the caster near the throne. You've got some other melee people, other ranged people near you. The queen is running away with an arrow in her calf, and also the rest of these guards clear out. and head home to take care of their families. What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to take this caster out and attack again with the my rapier.
All right, roll to hit.
That's
That's
gonna be
hit.
18.
That is a hit.
All right. And that is gonna do 12 more piercing damage.
Oh man. Okay, this person is looking to be on her last legs as your rapier stabs into her near the gut area. She sort of falls to her knees. But she's still ticking. If she had a spell concentrated, she certainly would lose concentration. Anything else?
Yeah, so as I'm doing that, I'm sort of whistling a little tune and gonna give a bardic inspiration to Biggs.
Okay, Biggs, you are inspired. I'll put a die next to you so that you remember that you have that, and you can add that to your to hit or a saving throw. And will you pass loose?
Yep.
So the queen runs further down the throne room and says, "Oh, help me! Oh, what's happening?" And she gets a little bit further back down there. And all right, our ranged folks are up. The gun person, where's my zoom? The gun person takes aim at loose, at the GIF, and misses. Again, another bullet flies by your lightly haired ear. The archer takes aim at Luce and shoots an arrow towards Luce's breast, but the arrow actually buries itself in the side of your armor without piercing your flesh. And finally, the caster is going to with her last with some bits of her last energy, she's going to reach her hand towards you, Luce, and right in your face, she'll put her hand and she says, "If you're going to kill me, I'll take you with me." And 3 purple darts of energy shoot out of her fingertips as they're right in front of her face. And the darts sort of shoot up into the air and then right back down into the top of your head, which quite singes your skin, to be sure. And you take 12 damage from this magic missile, bringing you down to 6 hit points. And the caster sort of laughs after she does that and says, "This is what you get for setting back our kingdom another 5 years." And Cyrus, you're up. What are you up to?
This yeah, sorry, in this moment we're going to try to just take another longsword attack against the one that is next to me.
All right, roll the hit.
Rolling to hit. That's better. 18.
Okay, you hit. Roll damage.
Great. 10 points of damage.
Okay, that person receives the longsword into their upper body, and blood spatters in the air.
Question: that thing behind that guy there's kind of what looks to be a wall. There's a black line, but it ends. So my target, the two squares behind him.
Yeah.
Is that a wall there? Is there a wall there, or is that open?
There's a wall behind the queen's throne, and then there's a hallway behind.
That's okay. So two spaces behind the guy in the red is not a wall. Got it.
Is open.
That is open. Got it. No, I did want to, with that, summon the power of the stars and use astral spark to cause an additional 2 force damage on that hit.
Okay, your longsword sparks as it goes into the person's flesh, and you hear an electric sizzle as a little bit and a fun smell comes up from your longsword's entrance, and the person looks at you almost for the first time, realizing that he's fighting a GIF and that this is a strange situation.
And then I'm going to pass from there.
Okay, Big, you're up.
All right. Big is again just after this guy that just fucking hit him. So rolling again with the +5. Getting a 9, he's just missing again.
Yep. But you do have your offhand attack with your short sword.
Yep, you're right, I do. So it'd be without the modifier. So yeah, I'll use my bonus action to two-hand fight. Or two-weapon fight. +5. Ooh, 22.
Okay, you hit. Roll damage.
All right, so this is just, but it is 2d6 is just not the +5 with the modifier.
Correct. So
6
damage to the person standing next to you, and
in front of.
yeah, and that person is looking pretty messed up at this point as your short sword connects with him. And anything else on your turn?
Nope, that was it.
All right, back to the top of the order. The melee assassins are going to take their strikes on the GIF and the ranger. 2 on the GIF and 1 on the ranger. And the ranger ones, one of them crits, and the one on the GIF misses. For let's see what this crit damage is going to be. Right. The way I do crits is I roll 2 sets of damage dice, or I roll the damage dice twice. I don't multiply by 2. So this person swings their scimitar down into you, and you take 18 damage as this fellow who is sort of on the brink yells out, "You cannot kill me!" And you are down to 7, I believe, out of 28. And also, you'll need to make a concentration check on your hunter's mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not looking great. Concentration check. What is that?
So just roll a d20. Roll a d20, and we'll add your Constitution modifier to it. Basically making a con save.
It's a +2. So
Don't forget your bardic inspiration if you
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah,
yes,
so you
that's
need to
+4,
beat
right? Or D4.
you need to beat a 10. So right now you're rolling a 9, so you can choose to roll your bardic inspiration.
It's a D4, right?
That's a D6.
Oh,
But either way, you're gonna get a 1, and
Mhm.
you're gonna get at least a 1. So you're gonna keep your concentration on your hunter's mark, and you'll use your bardic inspiration. But yeah, you've taken a lot of damage, and you and this one person appear to be in a blood feud in the middle of this battle. as the person yells out, "The queen must be stopped. Do not stand in our way." And all right, Luce, you're up.
Okay. Oh man, really wanted to do a killing blow here, but I think I'm gonna have to go with casting Cure Wounds on myself.
Ooh.
Oh, I roll the 1. So that's 4.
All right, Luce, you're back up to 10 hit points on your action, bonus action and or movement.
Bonus action is gonna be to give Bardic Inspiration to Cyrus. And that's all I can do.
All right. The Bardic Inspiration has been given, and the queen is up. She just kind of huddles near the wall and says, please, please protect me. And now some of our other folks are up. The pistol wielder, annoyed that he has missed the gift twice, aims and levels the barrel at the gift's head, attempting to hit once more, and misses again. This person decides that maybe they need to get a little bit closer if they want to actually put a shot in. So they move like 10 feet closer, and you hear them call out, "Curses!" The caster shoots the arrow at Luce and hits, or sorry, not the caster, but the arrow caster. The ranged person shoots the arrow at Luce and hits and does 3 piercing damage, a blessed only 3 piercing damage, as the arrow just sort of cuts the skin between 2 of your fingers and causes a bad bleed, but nothing else. And the caster on her last legs, and let's see, where is my, yeah, the caster feeling a little upset about what's happening to her. Thinking, yeah. Yeah, this caster is going to cast web, and we're gonna get some con saves. So let's see. I'm gonna make a 20-foot cube to see how many of her friends get caught in this web too. Yeah, that's about right. So let's see. 20-foot cube. He wants to hit you 2, and she doesn't want to hit these 2. And she would sort of put it right here, and that would hit these 3. Yeah, and then who else is going to fall into it? This person actually doesn't. I think this person doesn't. And that's a Bardic Inspiration die. So it's just you 3. So I need I need dexterity. Okay, when you start your turn, you'll make a dexterity save there. So not yet. But the caster, as she's bleeding out, laying on the ground with only a couple hit points left, points her hand across the room, and a spider web jumps up, hanging from the arm of the throne across the room, and covering the ground in webs that coil around your feet, fellows. And that will be the end of her turn. So Cyrus, you're up. So I'll need a dexterity save, please.
We'll do it.
And you are unaffected by the web.
What a show off.
Tell me more about what you will do with your turn, please.
He's a light-footed hippo.
Yes,
Yeah,
very,
right.
very nimble, very
Yes,
nimble.
Yes, describe how this hippo avoids this web.
He's able to take just a quick hop, which is kind of like one leg in front of the other. Just boom, is sleeping by. And it's barely able to get its short and stout. Mama called me husky legs out of the way. So we'll
Inadvertently cast earthquake while doing
yeah,
so.
exactly. And you all need to do dexterity saves for thunder wave after I take my little hop. No, I'm just kidding. No, exactly. Hey, question for you. Can you, that web is 20 feet is what you're saying, right?
It's 20 by 20, yeah.
So if I move there, that's 5, 10. Okay. The situation is looking dire, and I'm concerned about Grandito behind me. I am going to move to one space towards Grandito, and that will provoke an opportunity attack from the guy in red. Nope, and I'm gonna nope next to him. I want to go specifically there. Thank you.
Okay, so you get one opportunity attack that misses.
Great. I am going to summon the power of the open seas, and I am going to create a thick fog cloud 20 feet in all directions that follows me as I move. However, me and all creatures within 5 feet, which would include Grandito, treat this fog as lightly obscured.
Okay.
So Grandito and I can see. We would have a disadvantage on any wisdom checks that we might make in this combat. But everything except Grandito and I, for 20 feet in all directions, is heavily obscured.
Mm-hmm.
That is my action.
All right. Give me just one sec.
Yeah, I believe that's going to put Loose in heavy obscurity. If I counted right.
Yeah, we'll get to these as we get there.
Yeah.
Even each creature within 5 feet of you, treat the area as lightly obscured. The fog lasts for 10 minutes, spreads around corners, and cannot be dispersed. Okay, so those are some interesting dynamics that we're going to be playing with. So you take that action and you pass the turn. And so big, there is a cloud extending in 20 feet all around this person. And the area that you are standing in, as well as these 9 squares, the squares around him, are lightly obscured. So you can see there. However, all the way out to here, and in a circle around the room that goes out around him, that goes out from there, there is a wall of fog that you cannot see through. You do, however, know the location of the person that just hit you. So you could swipe your sword into the fog, but it would be at disadvantage.
Okay.
So the outermost red ring on this is a 20-foot radius. So that puts a lot of people blinded. So you can see, but you can only see in those 9 squares around you. So if you want to take a swipe at the person who hit you last, you know where he is, but you'd be at disadvantage.
All right. So it's up to me now.
Yeah, that was my turn.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, I did get that part. So yeah, I'll swing at the guy.
All right.
Disadvantage.
Roll to hit at disadvantage.
Oh, okay, sweet. I see it now. So let me subtract. How do I subtract it?
Now, before you roll, give me 1 sec. Yeah, dark vision is not going to help you see there. And
I don't have blind fighting.
none of the other Gloomstalker features will allow you to see there. Yeah, so you're going to be at disadvantage. Go ahead and roll with disadvantage.
Rolling. Are you shitting me?
Oh, rough.
All right, you miss. You have a offhand attack as well.
Might as well. Disadvantage. Come on. Better.
That's good. Mhm.
Okay, you hit, roll damage, and you still are concentrating on Hunter's Mark.
Correct. No modifier on this. 6.
So 6 damage to the person that did a bunch of damage to you before. As you sweep your scimitar through the air, you feel it connect with flesh, and describe the death of a person that you cannot see. What does this look like?
It's more of like I just kind of
Squishy.
I'm swiping blindly mostly because I'm hurt, so I'm like in an injured animal state, just lashing out. And then I feel it connect, but I finish the follow through, and as it does, it's just a warm liquid spurting on me from the mist, and that this shadow I see within the fog just like disappears as it falls back.
All right, and I'm going to remove this person for now, but there is a body laying on the ground there, and we'll just review that there's a web there. Oh yeah, and I got to have you make a dex save since you're standing in that web. Okay, so you are restrained. So your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, obviously. And you can try to break out of the web again. But as the blood spurts all over you, you also feel webs rising up your legs and grasping themselves around you, and you find yourself restrained. And
I'd like to, if possible, with this happening, just being injured, and I feel like the webs hitting my legs, I would just take this moment to willingly just fall down in a prone position, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah, you can use your you can go prone, I think. I mean your speed is 0, so technically whatever, but I'll let you go prone. So you're prone and restrained. Oops. And all right, we're going back to the top of the order here. With some melee folks, and one of them is now dead. So one of them is standing next to the prone person, and the other one is a few feet away from the GIF and can't really see. So the one next to you is going to attack you with advantage and will hit.
Would that be offset by the fact that he's standing in blindness, creating a flat roll?
The guy is both restrained and prone, but
I'm talking about the attacker.
advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out. So yeah, I guess it would be a flat roll. So the flat roll hits, and that person stabs their scimitar down into you, doing 9 damage. And Big
it.
is unconscious, and your concentration is broken on Hunter's Mark. And yeah, you're laying there in a misty ocean fog, covered in webs, bleeding on the ground. No fun for anyone. And let's see here. Now, and just a reminder, David, you could choose to end this effect at any point. It could be on anyone's turn or at any time.
Fair call. I was trying to avoid this very scenario by hopefully giving him some kind of canceling disadvantage, but it didn't work. So,
trial and
Outside the
error is
box
the name of the
thinking.
game.
Good.
So, the person that is standing near you, Gif, he saw you walk away and then became blinded. So he's going to step towards you. He's where he saw you went before he became blinded, and getting within 5 feet of you. Well, actually, he has to make a dex save before he can do that. So let's find out. He makes the dex save. So he steps towards you and tries to hit you. He's only in light obscurement, so and he misses. The scimitar actually bangs against your very thick hippo hide without cutting you. And let's see. So those are they, and then Loose, you are up, and you are currently blinded.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to finish off this spellcaster. So I have disadvantage, you say, hey?
Yeah, you're gonna swipe at the spot that you saw her last before you became blinded, so you will have disadvantage.
Alrighty. Oof. Well, I'm gonna assume 8 won't do anything for me.
Will not.
Okay. And I'm also going to assume that if you're unconscious, you can't hear me, so I cannot bestow another bardic inspiration on Big.
I would say that an unconscious person can hear. I would question the utility of giving it to a laying down person, but I guess for death saves.
I mean, I assume it can work for a death save.
You know what he could hear? He could hear a healing word.
If only one had a healing word for him to hear.
Okay, well, are you giving bardic inspiration to our unconscious friend?
I'm going to do that, yes.
All right.
David hasn't used his, and I can't give it to me. I might as well give it to somebody.
All right. And is that your turn?
That is my turn.
All right. The queen remains huddled, gasping for help. And then we've got a few people who are going to think about what they're going to do. This person is going to have to shoot an arrow towards where they last saw someone. So she'll shoot at Loose, but she'll have disadvantage. The person with the gun will shoot towards where he saw the GIF move before the fog spring up, so he'll have disadvantage. And this person will also have disadvantage on her shot. So let's see how. Oh yeah, and the arrow, gun, and caster. I've had an extra person this whole time. You get an arrow, a gun, and a caster. So the caster is blinded, so she'll have to get a little creative with her spell book. But first, let's do. I'm gonna do these publicly just for fun. We'll do the gunshot towards where the GIF was standing. And that hits. for the first time, the bullet actually hits. And let me check what kind of damage that's going to do.
What kind of modifier does she get on that shot?
Enough to beat your AC.
Okay, cool.
So you let's see. All right. So the gunshot streaks through the fog and happens to connect in the shoulder with you, and you take 12 damage from the pistol shot. So that brings you to 16, and now the arrow having assassin is going to take a shot at Luce with disadvantage and miss. The arrow shoots through the fog and goes nowhere. And finally, the blinded caster is going to think about her options for a moment. All right. So let's see. She's blinded and she knows you're blinded. Well, all right. She's gonna thunder wave you. So make a con save, Luce.
All righty. 15.
You pass, so you only take 3 thunder damage as a wave of thunder sweeps over you, pushing the fog around you. And you are down to 4 hit points, and it is Cyrus's turn. Cyrus, you need to make a dex save at the start of your turn since you're starting your turn in the web.
It's not gonna do it. 5.
All right, you are restrained.
Okay.
And
Restrained is just grappled, right? Basically. Yeah, I can't move.
you can't move, and you have disadvantage on your attacks, and people have advantage against you.
Okay. I am going to
You've got an unconscious man laying next to you.
yeah, I understand that. I am going to reach down and touch, but he's prone and restrained, so he can't get up because he has no movement speed. So carrying him does no good on this turn because he can't fight. He could fight, but he's prone, so he would have disadvantage, and he's restrained, so he'd have disadvantage. So he'd be attacked. Anything he would do is already at disadvantage. I am going to try to kill the one next to me with the longsword.
All right. So both you and he can see, so make a normal roll.
Flat roll.
Okay, you hit.
16.
Good.
Great. Great. 7 points of damage, and we will again summon our astral spark to add 2 to that, so 9 points of damage.
Okay, and that person takes the damage, feeling an electric spark as the longsword enters his torso. And he's looking pretty screwed up right now, but hanging in there.
Okay, then we're going to try to finish him off with Divine Smite,
All right.
which would be 2d8. I will consume a spell slot. And I believe it's 2d8. Let me just Divine Smite. No, it's Divine Sense. Divine Smite. When I hit with a attack weapon, I can expend one spell slot to do 2d8 extra radiant damage to the target. And I am consuming a first level spell slot. So I'm going to roll 2d8 in an attempt to kill him.
Make it so.
11 points of radiant damage on the Divine Smite.
Describe his death.
Having slashed him with the longsword, first of all exudes a bit of electricity and shocks him, but then a warm energy it comes from this common longsword and really blasts him in the chest, knocking him backwards to the ground and unmoving.
The mist of the ocean surrounds you as the hippo deals the death blow to this teenaged melee assassin. The spider's webs holding the hippo, the GIF, still, but not still enough to stop his sword arm. And it is Big's turn. Big, make a death save, please.
Nailed it.
That is one failure, and a d6 will not help with that one. All right. We've got the one guy that is standing behind Big, and that person is currently blinded by the mist. So he's going to run blindly into the mist towards where he saw the GIF standing. And I'll just say that he doesn't quite go the right way. But as he's running past, he's able to see, and he sees you. So he runs past, and then he sort of heads back this way to get next to you. You do get an opportunity attack as he runs past you.
Fantastic. We will take that with the longsword.
And as you're swinging your sword, you notice that this person is a lot smaller than the other ones, but nonetheless, your sword does not connect. In fact, maybe it goes over his head because he's surprisingly short. Luce, you are up, and where's my little circle? Oh, there it is. It's your turn. You are still blinded. You're in the heavy obscurement of the fog of the ocean. And what will you be up to?
Oh boy. This is not looking good, fellas.
You are aware that the caster in front of you is also blinded.
I am aware of that.
I'm going to say, since you're both blinded, you wouldn't have disadvantage because your two blindednesses would cancel each other out.
Okay, well, in that case, I will definitely attack her.
All right, roll to hit.
17.
Roll damage.
10.
Describe the death
Ah.
in the blinding fog.
Well, my rapier goes swish, and stabs her right in the heart.
Yes, and a little bit of blood spurts onto your hand in the fog. You can't see much, but you get the impression you've found your target. Any bonus actions?
No, I don't think I have anything that will help us here.
Would I call out? Can we talk out of turn? I don't know how you do verbals.
I usually do the verbals on your turn, but I'll let you say something just this once.
Loose to us, and trying to beckon Loose by the sound of my voice to get within 5 feet.
Now, upon her death, do the webs dissipate?
They do.
Okay, wonderful. In that case, I will definitely follow the sound of his voice.
All right. Where are you headed?
I will move to well, I guess towards the sound of his voice. If I'm close, once I'm close enough that I can see, can I move so that I am right next to Big?
Yep. I guess you take an opportunity attack there because this person can see you.
I think I was next to Big. I think in your web move, I don't think that space was there. Yet basically,
Okay, then in that case, well,
You can
yeah.
move there and you'll be next to Big. And you won't take an opportunity attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where I'd like to end my movement. Yes, please.
All right. Very good. Did you take a bonus action? Do you want one?
There's not really anything I could do, I think, in this case with a bonus action, so I will pass.
All right. The queen remains huddled in the back of the room asking for help. And we've got some people that are going to take some shots into the dark. Everybody has now moved from where they were. So these folks have no idea where you are anymore. They're shooting at the spaces that you once were in, and they both miss. So because they're shooting at empty spaces, and Cyrus, you're up.
He's now no longer restrained. I am going to use my action to reach down to my downed colleague and burn my second first level spell slot to cast Cure Wounds and give him 8 + 3 for 11 points of healing.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
What does this look like as it happens in this throne room?
This is exciting in that we've created a little bit of a pocket of a little bit of an oasis of light obscurement in the darkness, which is now turning the tide of battle in our favor. And I reach down to the compatriot next to me, Grandito, that I can see, and a warmth radiates from my hand as kind of the smell of salty sea air also surrounds him and invigorates him back to life out of his unconscious state with 11 points of healing.
He stays prone, but he is up. And anything else on your turn, Cyrus? Cyrus.
Yeah, yep. I'm here. Sorry, I don't play for Paladin very much, so I don't know instinctively what I'm doing here.
Any other bonus actions or movement?
I am going to cast as a bonus action.
Not if it's a leveled spell.
This is correct. I will not do that. I will pass.
All right. Big, you are prone. You are not restrained. You have 11 hit points. What are you up to?
As he's shocked, pretty much shocked back to life with this spell, he's just like, ah, what the fuck? The fog's still around.
Yes, you can see, and so you can see everything that's within 5 feet of our GIF. So you can see this little dude behind him. Everything outside of these 9 squares is thick fog.
He's going to what's it called? Look up, see the light fog, and just be like, wow, it's like fuck, I died now. And then look over and see this GIF and just be like, and clearly I'm in hell. He gets up slowly with some grimaces, taking half his movement speed, and he's just like, did we win? What's going on?
And you see that little assailant standing behind the GIF.
Okay. And then I was like, ah, shit. And I just what's it called? Take a swing at him.
He is standing on the other side. Do you want to use
Oh,
your
you mean,
to
sorry,
go over there?
who's, I'm used to Foundry. I'm like, who's this person? So he's behind them.
Yeah, there's this. Yeah.
And this is the attacker, and this
Okay.
is the ally. So
All
you
right,
can
it's
use the movement to go here and attack the bad guy.
yeah, I'll do that. I'll use my movement to do that. Quickly turn around and do some spins, swipe at him.
So you walk in between the 2 gigantic bardic inspiration die that happen to be laying on the floor there, and roll to hit.
Yes.
You hit, roll damage. You're no longer concentrating on hex. Sorry, Hunter's Mark. Okay, 6 damage. This person is almost the same height as you, and he actually looks kind of young. And the damage seems to really take a lot out of him. And he kind of cries out in a high-pitched voice, "Ah, don't you get it? The queen's bad." And he bleeds a little bit. Do you want to take a bonus attack on him?
Absolutely.
All right, you hit. Roll damage. Okay, and you can describe the death of this smaller person.
So the first one, I came in, like kind of stabbed him in his shoulder area, and he's just yelling out those words, and then with my offhand, I just slashed it across his throat, and so he's not really able to finish his sentence and just starts choking on the blood.
And he is out. Anything else for your turn?
That will be, well, let's see, how much speed do I have again? I have 30.
Basically, you got movement left.
I'm gonna move next to Luz on the left side.
Okay. So you go over here. You want to move right here?
Yeah.
All right. You move up there, and okay.
And the confusion of the fog still, I'm just like, is that all of them or what?
Yeah. And you can't tell just yet. And now, Luce, it's your turn.
Okay, how do my 2 allies look to my eyes as far as I've seen Big sort of spring up and come back to life? Do they look like they're in fairly good shape?
They both look pretty injured, but you look the most injured of all.
Okay. All right. In that case, I am going to go ahead and cast Disguise Self to make myself look like the caster that I just killed.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to use my movement since she is still obscured by fog. You still have the fog up, right?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, so I would like to use my movement to step out of the fog to where the two. Oh, well, let's see. Is this one dude in the fog? So let's see, where are we at here?
Here's the fog circle.
Uh-huh. All right. I don't know if I want to. I don't want him just swinging at me blindly is the thing.
Uh-huh.
Does disguise self disguise my voice as well, or just my appearance?
I believe it disguises your appearance, but I'll read it in a sec. But if you're gonna try to bullshit them, I will help make that happen.
That's the plan. I want to come out, basically show myself to the two remaining and, look panicked and be like, we're outmatched. We have to retreat.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna take any opportunity attacks in a fog because they can't see you. So
Okay.
if you want to walk out like directly in front of the bow and arrow person, you can do that,
Okay.
or anywhere else on the edge of the circle.
Yeah. So I want to make myself look pretty disheveled if I can, and possibly bleeding and wounded, and just walk out there and say, retreat.
You want to walk up here?
Yep.
Okay. So you walk out of the fog cloud and you stand in front of the archer. And what exactly do you say? And
Just, we're outmatched. We have to go.
okay. And let's see. You make yourself look different. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you do either performance or deception to try to sound like what you heard the caster talking when you heard her earlier. So you're gonna do your best imitation of that caster's voice.
Definitely pick deception on that. And that's gonna be a 21.
Okay, this person is convinced that you are the caster, and she says, "Don't you understand? We can't leave here without killing the queen. After all, you know what our mission is." But you see the fear in her eyes, and you know what? I'll let you also roll persuasion to see if she's convinced by this need to leave.
All righty. That is also +5. Oof, but not as good a roll. 9.
Not as good a roll, so she sticks to her guns about, like, don't you understand? Our mission is to kill the queen or die trying. So, why would we leave? And she's like, "You're the strongest one among us. Get back there. Shoot some of your darts at them." Uh, so I'm gonna say that's your turn, unless you want to throw a. Nah, you've done 2 rolls. I think we're good with the bonus action. The queen stays huddled over there, and now it's the gun person and the arrow person's turn. And
Sorry, real quick, just to be clear, they can't see the queen through the fog, right? I can't see her on the map, so I'm assuming she is not in their sight.
the queen ran down there before the fog appeared.
Well, they
So
know she's there, or they know she was there.
right.
Okay.
And they're both thinking about running over there at this point. So this one goes, takes the dash action, and ends up there. Surprisingly enough, the dash action got her there. Now you
Dang.
could take an opportunity attack on her as she runs away, but she'll know that you're not the caster if you do that.
Yep, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so roll to hit.
That's going to be a 17.
You hit, roll damage.
Oof, 6.
So yeah, you hit her in the back, and your rapier cuts through her, and it looks quite painful. She looks back at you as she runs across the throne room and says, "You're not Michaela," and keeps running. And the fellow with the pistol is also looking to get to the queen, but he doesn't know what's in front of him in the fog. So he's gonna, let me see.
He can't see me either, though. He's still in the fog, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Let me get my little thing. So let's see. Yeah, he's gonna step out of the fog so that he can see.
Wrong person.
What?
It's centered on me. Thanks.
He's gonna step out of the fog so that he can see and sort of get his bearings. And then he's also gonna sort of run around the fog. So let's see, that was two steps. So and so he also took the dash action. So neither of them are going to get to attack, but they ran around the fog and towards the queen. And now you hear the gun fellow yell out to the arrow lady, "Who are these people? Why are they here?" And Cyrus, you're up.
Sorry, real quick. Can I shout a warning if I can't out of turn, and then I won't, that they're heading for the queen, so my allies know that?
I'm going to keep that one on your turn.
Okay.
So yeah, actually, Cyrus, you don't know that they're heading for the queen because you can only see in the 9 squares around you.
But I heard the gun guy yell.
What did the gun? Oh yeah, who are these people? Yeah, you heard them. You heard him yelling that.
But I'm asking, my intention would be to approach the gun guy.
Yeah, well, you've killed all of the people around you, and you have no targets left, and you've heard the voice of someone who says, "Who are these people?" Blah. So I think it makes total sense that you'd move towards them.
Yes, my intention would be to move towards the gun guy and get within 5 feet of him.
Sure.
Okay, great. Then I will do so.
You move towards the voice that you heard, and you sort of blunder across the room since you only know what's 5 feet in front of you. And as you finally get over there, you bump into this fellow, and you successfully followed the sound of his voice. And what are you up to?
My attack action is going to be to use the disarm rules and to disarm him of his gun.
Okay.
Which is basically a grappling check.
Go ahead and make the roll.
I am rolling at advantage, being a GIF. It's an athletics. You get to defend it with acrobatics or athletics.
All right. Looks like you're going to succeed.
I don't know why. Okay, great. Then with my item interaction, I want to pick up his pistol.
All right, you pick up his pistol.
With my bonus action, I am going to cast divine favor on myself, which is a concentration spell, and it gives me an extra 1d4 radiant damage on any further hits.
Okay.
Oops, sorry, ignore this. Sorry, ignore that. I don't know why I clicked the button. It's just active. That is my third and final spell slot. And we will say that I dropped my longsword in order to pick up the pistol, because I'm sword and shield.
You don't have to drop your longsword. You can just stow it and pick up the pistol. It's fine.
Okay, stow it and pick up the pistol. I have pistol in hand.
So you'll do an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit. All right, that sounds like your turn. So big. Did you have something you wanted to yell or something?
I didn't have anything to yell. That was Luz.
Oh, Cyrus, anything else that you wanted?
Yeah, I'll try to yell to Biggs to just give him a directional target. Over.
Don't shoot me, get over here.
The ranged attackers have come this way, and well, that's about what we'll say.
Okay, so Biggs, you're up, and you see the fog cloud move over you and move towards the back middle of the throne room, and you are able to see again. You see somebody that looks like the caster that cast the spell that messed up the throne room, standing like 20 feet in front of you, and you see a fog cloud behind you. And you hear Cyrus yelling, Biggs, over here. And what are you up to?
I'm charging the caster.
That
Now-
makes sense.
Now, the body of the caster is next to the throne there, just FYI.
So you run up to the caster, and I'll tell you what, you get one insight to notice the body of the caster and have that affect your way. But you know what's interesting about disguise self that I noticed recently is that it is not a spell that you can drop concentration on. It's
I
not
was
a
just looking at
concentration
that.
spell. It just lasts for an hour and that's it.
Yeah. It doesn't even say you can use an action to dispel it or anything. I'm just like, I guess this is how I look for an hour.
Now this player disguised herself as somebody that Strahd is really interested in, and then was like, "Why did I do that?" So yeah, roll. Insight. You are blinded by fury, and you do not have the insight to notice this body, and you run at the caster, who you saw make all the people leave the room. And what are you doing? Looks like you try to hit and you miss. Will you take a offhand attack? That one hits. Roll damage.
Oh,
That is 5 damage. You don't have Hunter's markup or anything.
Nope.
Luce, you become unconscious. This is I like this. This is very non-metagaming. This is very good.
very non-metagaming.
So
Or he hasn't forgiven me for the bantam remark, and he knows exactly who I am.
Luce becomes unconscious, and do you want to use your movement any further, Ranger?
That was only 20 feet, correct?
Yeah, you're about here, so I would say 15.
Okay, I used the rest of my 15 to start moving back towards Cyrus.
All right, and you still have a bardic inspiration die, and so do you, Cyrus. Okay. Luce, make a death save, please.
All right. Oops, what the heck? Sorry, I gotta clear that. All right, there we go. Oh, lovely.
That's
That's
one failed death save. The queen yells out in the fog, "Help! I know they're coming for me. And she sort of runs out of the fog towards the back of the throne room. And now it's the ranged attacker's turn, and let's see. They hear her yelling that. So this guy can see you next to him. So this one hears her yelling that and runs to where she was and sees that she's not there. And then steps 4 steps this way and sees her. So this one's going to take a shot at the queen, and this one is going to try to this one's going to try to pull his pistol back out of your hand as his attack action. And he says, "Give me that back. That was my brother's pistol." And oh, that was a pretty good roll. 18 plus 2, you got to beat a 20.
Got that bardic die.
Yeah. So I rolled a 17 on my athletics check, and I will now roll the d6 of bardic inspiration.
Got to roll higher than a 3.
You rolled an 18? Oh, you got modifiers.
Yeah, you got to beat a 20.
How about a 4?
He was like, puts both of his hands on the pistol and jerks it up. It almost comes up out of your grasp, but using your extreme strength and large size, you sort of flex your shoulders and pull the pistol back down out of his hands, leaving his sort of hands up in the air in front of his face. And he grimaces at you and says, "What are you doing? You have to help us stop the queen." The arrow person is going to take a shot at the queen. And she hits. And she does 7 damage to the queen. The queen is injured. She's got 2 arrows in her. But you know what? She, well, none of you can see her, so I won't say anything else. Cyrus, you're up. You can't see farther than 5 feet in front of you. What do you?
Yes, I can. The question: if I am proficient with firearms, if I fire a ranged weapon within 5 feet, I have to do so at disadvantage, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, then I am going to move 5 feet back. Let's say let's say I'll move to the camera's left. I don't know. Yeah, no, the other direction. There you go. Move me up 1 towards the guy. Just trust me.
To punch you as an opportunity attack.
Yeah, he's going to get an opportunity attack. Yeah, absolutely.
He misses as he tries to punch you.
Great. Then, yeah, what I wanted to do, move me diagonally towards the queen-ish, 1 space. So there's 10 feet. No, I'm trying to get 10 feet from the guy. Yeah, there we go. I am going to use my 10 feet of blind sight for my blind sight, my blind fighting, and now take a shot at him with his own pistol.
Okay, now he is blinded and you are not, so you have advantage.
Correct.
So roll to hit.
Bang, dirty 20.
Where are you rolling now?
It should be coming through the dice. I've got the plug-in on.
I didn't see it. Why don't you just refresh your browser? So dirty 20, and you're going to roll a d10 for the damage.
Rolling d10 plus 1 plus the d4 from the, so it's let's do this one at a time. So d10.
Sorry, you're gonna roll a d8 for your damage.
Oh, it says d10 on my sheet. Okay.
The standard pistol that they give with this stuff is a d10. But the pistol that's holding, you're going to roll a d8 worth of damage on him.
Great. So it's a d8 and a d4 from my spell.
Okay. I'm not seeing any of these dice rolls. So
I haven't rolled it yet. So it's here. Here comes those 2.
Yeah, there.
That is 11 plus 1 was my modifier. So 12 points of damage for the pistol shot.
All right. Describe this unseen death.
Well, I see it in that I with his own
Oh, blind sight. Yeah, okay.
I have blind fighting. So he can't see me. He's disoriented. He doesn't know where it's coming from. He's looking around the room. He's taken a swing and it's missed. And just a bullet emerges out of the fog and pops him in the temple, and he crunches to the ground, being shot with his own brother's pistol.
Okay, and as he
Right.
falls to the ground, he gets knocked back 5 feet. His body scoots across the floor 5 feet.
And I, at this moment, will choose to drop the fog cloud.
Okay, the fog cloud drops and everybody can see. Anything else, Cyrus?
I can't see what's going on with the queen.
You can see.
Well, I mean,
The
no,
camera.
the camera.
Oh,
It's off cam. Thanks. I am going to use my 30. Well, I used 10 feet. I'm going to use my 20 feet remaining to move directly towards the last assailant.
okay.
Thanks. And that is my turn.
All right, Big, you're up.
Big seeing quite a big distance and the count from the last assailant to there. He's gonna sidestep 10 feet to his left, so camera's right. Yes. Whip out his longbow. So I say his longbow. It's a longbow for someone his size, as a real one would actually just trip him all the time, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So it's a short longbow, and he's gonna take aim at this guy. That person's within 90 feet, correct?
That person is within 90 feet.
So we are going to do, where are we at?
So are you saying this is a short bow?
It's a longbow.
Okay. So that's got a range of 150 feet, actually.
Yeah. Yes, I'm tracking. No. I was talking about, I am what's it called? Doing bonus action casting Hunter's Mark, which is a 90-foot spell.
Ah, great. All right. It lands on the person.
Lands on the person and then rolling for the shot.
That is a hit.
16. So it is. Let me use my bows a lot. So it is.
You see the back of the archer that you hit is already bleeding with the slash that was left on it by Luce. And your arrow connects with them and roll damage.
All right, so I have a D8 for the arrow, a D6 for the mark, and then a +3 for my modifier.
Yeah. Okay, describe this doom.
So I see, Cyrus pursuing the last person, and there's a little bit of a competitiveness in me as being a bounty hunter. So I sidestep a little, pull out the bow and just like cast a little bit, and then I see it as what's it called? The mark flying towards him, and then the arrow's being released. And as the mark hits him like a fluffy cloud, the arrow pierces right into it as well. And he gives that one of those generic, and then just goes to his knees and just fucking face plants and slides a little bit as he's still running. As I lower the shot, I'm just like, where's Luz at?
Yes, where is Luz at? Where is Luce? As we leave combat, now, did anyone see Luce turn into that other person?
I should have mentioned that before he rushed me, but I didn't think of it. They both would have seen it. I did it right next to them in the 5 feet of the fog. But
okay, so we are leaving combat, which means time is about to speed up. So you both know that you have a comrade lying across the room bleeding out. What are you up to?
I'm rushing to her side, feeling very bad about this. And I'm trying to perform like a medical check, so I could use my bardic inspiration on that.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you
and
for not using it as part of the killing of me.
What else is like,
That would have been real. Just rub some salt in there, real
I
bad.
held off on the bonus action Hunter's Mark too.
Thank you.
and as you're running across the room, Cyrus, what are you up to? You've got
Yeah, I what I can do is expend the use of my channel divinity to fuel my spells. As a bonus action, I can regain a spell slot, and with my spell slot, I will cure wounds onto.
you will need to walk there first.
And I will walk there and then do all of those things.
Okay,
Can
you
I
can't walk
attempt
there
to
in one turn. So I guess I could put the camera back up, but so let's see. In turn order, Biggs just took their turn. Loose would make a death save. So go ahead and make a death save, and you have one fail already, right?
Indeed, I do.
All right.
That is a success.
Okay, that's one success on Loose's turn. Sorry, I took the camera down, but so the next turn after Loose would be Cyrus. So Cyrus, you want to head over there?
Mm-hmm.
So at 30 feet, you're still another 30 feet away from her. So do you want to take the dash action?
I'll have to, yes. And then harnessing my divine power to regain a spell slot is a bonus action.
Yep, that's fine. So you're now standing next to her and you regained a spell slot.
But I don't have an action because I dashed. If we're playing this out the way it should.
Right. If you don't take the action to dash, you're going to be 30 feet away from her.
Correct. And so I've taken the dash action. I've now taken a bonus action. I have no more turns if we're playing this out in sequence. And I would pass at this point.
Now it's Big's turn, and he's going to run up next to her, and he's standing right next to her. And what exactly do you want to do, Big?
just try to stabilize her by doing a medicine check. I see the wounds I put on her, and I guess like put pressure on them and stuff like that to help out.
Right.
At least maybe
roll a medicine check. You got a
all right,
+4 to medicine, so
and I'm adding my bardic inspiration.
all right. A 19.
Yeah.
That seems good. She is stabilized, and we will leave combat. I imagine Cyrus is going to apply his cure wounds.
Correct. So that is my last spell slot. And for a heal of 7 + 3 for 10 points of healing to our downed and somewhat disguised comrade.
All right. All of you have hit points.
Yeah.
And you are standing in a beautiful cathedral-like throne room. The queen is huddled near the doors that you originally came in. There are dead bodies laying all around the room. What are you two up to? What are you three up to?
I would be checking on the well-being of my comrades and happy that we're alive. That battle went very south very quickly, but we've turned it around, and would want to then make sure the queen is okay and call out to the queen and make sure she's okay. I'm going to have a hard stop in 5 minutes, by the way. I'm overdue on another campaign that I'm already late on.
All right, let's stop there so that we have time for checkouts. There are bodies laying around the room. The queen is starting to stand up. She's saying, "Thank you." And we will find out what happens next time, as we'll move into checkouts. And Cyrus, you are currently carrying a knockback pistol. It does 1d8 of damage plus your modifier, and the person must succeed on your spell casting modifier strength save, DC strength save, or be pushed back 5 feet.
Interesting. Knockback. I haven't heard of such things.
This is a homebrewed item. Particularly with firearms, you will find that I have lots of entertaining ideas.
That is very cool. We're doing checkout?
We are doing checkouts. So Zach, we're moving into the last 5 minutes here, where we'll just be chatting about the session. I'd love to hear, let's see, we're going to do 3 things. Something you enjoyed about the session, something you enjoyed that another player did, and your vote on who gets the inspiration point today. Kyle, you're up.
Well, my vote is going to go to Zach, even though he killed me. I loved the commitment to the role play of that. I think it was great. He actively did not metagame. So, yeah, well done. Well, what else was I supposed to say?
So the inspiration vote you made, and then something you enjoyed about the session itself, and something you enjoyed that another player did.
Yeah, so that's the thing I enjoyed that another player did, and the vote, I'm going to go with that. I enjoyed the session a ton. I think we all did a great job sort of trying to play to our strengths. There was some unexpected early combat there that turned out to be pretty intense, and yeah, I enjoyed it all around.
Awesome. All right, David, you're up.
I very much I agree with Kyle. I love the commitment to the action. I mean, it's a full ship. It's a full commitment. I really like that by Zach, and I give him my inspiration vote as well. I enjoyed the session 0 very much. I think I enjoyed the party play very much. I enjoyed the role play very much, and I just thought it was a great session. Not much to add.
Awesome. And yeah, normally we'll stop about 40 minutes ago, but for me, it's a Friday night, and I was having fun with that combat myself, so I let it go a little long because sometimes I do. All right, Zach, something you enjoyed about the session, something you enjoyed that another player did, and inspiration vote.
So I liked what's it called? I appreciated the attempted assist with the fog and stuff like that. I enjoyed the use of, let's be real, spells that aren't usually used in combat. So disguise self, but an attempt to role play in a combat scenario in order to change the tides. Like, I was getting to a point where I'm like, well, I'm glad I built 3 characters.
Yeah, I was over here getting ready to roll up. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, this is terrible. Yeah, so I think my vote would go to Kyle for the use of a non-combat spell in a combat scenario. I appreciate that. One thing I think it was just my logic. I didn't explain too well, so maybe it was on me, but my logic behind me falling prone in the foggy environment. Yes, I'm in the same location, but I guess it was more if the guy was swiping at me, I wouldn't be at the same height, and stuff like that. So it's that was my logic there. So I was going for, like, I guess I know I have one player that would just keep dropping prone at distances when he was facing archers to get like a quarter cover or something like that. So I guess that's what I was going for. Yes, David.
Guys, I'm gonna have to dip here, but no, appreciate it. Thank you all. Cheers. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, well, always tell me what your intention is, because if I had known that, perhaps I would have the person swipe in front of him, or maybe I'd roll to see if he does that. But since I didn't know your intention, I was just like, well, I've got advantage
so-
on some people. Let's
So
do it.
that's on me. So not really, I guess a dislike. That was just, I guess, I dislike on my part for not explaining it better.
All good, all good. Well, I had a lot of fun. And for me as a player, I don't really like combat if it never gets deadly. So as a dungeon master, I like, as a player, I like to feel on the edge of my seat about what's going to happen. So as a dungeon master, I like to sort of walk that line and if I feel like the dungeon master is just like coddling us, I don't feel like I'm playing I don't feel any fear or challenge. So I'm glad that we were right on that line, and also that expectations were subverted for Kyle. It was like, what? Where's this combat coming from? So we'll find out more in the next session. And I appreciate everybody playing, and I'll see you next week.
That was good.
That was a lot of fun. See you guys next week.
Later.
Be well.